All right, guys, we've got some breaking information coming to you from the Middle East, especially in Israel. There are some reports, or at least warnings right now, that there is an increase in what would be Israel's Defcon warning. We're seeing that Iran, maybe another Middle Eastern country, is prepared to attack against them. And we have seen some video footage showing Israeli or IDF attacks inside of Lebanon a little bit deeper than they have ever gone before. Now, you remember, as soon as the Russian and Ukrainian conflict started to go to that next stage, you started to see Ukraine, backed by American military members, moving deep inside of Russian territory. They were attacking oil depots. They were hitting things deep inside there. Now we are starting to see infrastructural sabotage and some other events like that take place inside of inside of Lebanon, and you're going to start to see it inside of other Middle Eastern countries as well. Now, what we also have happening is a threat of a nuclear conflict, and we are seeing multiple sources inside of Israel say that they are, in fact, prepared to use a nuclear weapon of some sort if they have it. There's always that, well, if we had it, we would use it against their enemies. We are seeing Republican and some Democrat leaders inside the USA both say that what's playing out inside of Israel right now is a quote unquote end times war. Now, do I give it that as the, being the end all be all? No, absolutely not. But what I do know is that what's happening over there is going to start to drive this conflict into the next couple of years, and we are going to see a change. You remember that movie Children of Men, I think, where people couldn't have any more kids. People would just go about their daily life. The markets would have huge attacks, blow-ups. People just, go into the grocery store, windows being blown out by different explosive attacks. That normalization of this type of post-apocalyptic world is what we have staring us down in the face. This means you better get ready with what you need to operate in that sort of life. You better have bulletproof vests. You better have shielding of some sort. Your kids should be not just next to windows and next to, easy to break into panels of your house. You better be hardening the things that you can harden. Now, it's difficult because that's expensive. We don't all live like the Pope and the politicians, and we can't just have taxpayers or tithers pay for all of the things that we want to keep us safe. We have to think about these things ourselves. But let's just say, for instance, you get everybody in your family a bulletproof vest. Well, sleeping next to that bulletproof vest might protect 30-40% of your body. Doesn't mean you sleep in your vest. It just means it's going to protect a certain amount of your body, and you just need to be smart about it and start to position these things inside of your house in a way that it looks like it is just a posh way to position things. You've got wall racks, you've got things like that, maybe even in front of the vest, so that, when people come over and they walk into your kids' room, or they're playing with their friends on Switch or Xbox, they're not over there like, oh, look at this vest you've got. No, it just looks like they've got a shirt over top of something hung on the wall. Well, no one's going to think about that, especially if it's a football jersey or some sort of other jersey. No one's even going to think twice about it, but your kids will be protected, at least in a certain percentage of their body. We are right now already in the USA experiencing that type of end times reality. Look at the headlines. We have these news organizations. These news organizations are so vile, they are so corrupt, that when something happens against their agenda, they use wordsmithing. Now, if you know what a wordsmith is, that's somebody who is so intelligent in verbiage that they write the politicians' scripts. They tell everybody what to say. They're writing the songs for the artists so that they can capture and encapsulate your hearts and your minds. They write the TV scripts. They work with the CIA. Now, they right now are wordsmithing news organizations. What that means is they are telling them how to say it and what to say it so that it fits their agenda. So just like earlier today, there was an attack by an individual walking around with a long firearm. He was walking around outside of a Capitol, the U.S. Capitol. They didn't say, this is what happened. What they said was, police take down And then they gave his nationality or his race or something, individual, outside of U.S. Capitol. Why not say that this guy was coming here to try to murder people? No, instead they say that. And then you look at the attacks on, a Jewish individual last night or the night before. The news organization says, man passes away after hitting his head. Well, hold on, because he actually got violently attacked. His head smashed into the ground multiple times. So why aren't we saying what is really happening? And that's a little bit of what we have in store for us, where even though you might go to the market, supermarkets, take your kids to school, whatever it might be, and you have something bad happen. Kel, will you give me that water? Because you can see I'm still a little bit sick here. And you might have something bad happen. That's the thing. You're not going to be able to handle the reality of what they tell you is happening. What they say is happening, what is actually going on are two different things. And so when they tell you our economy's fine, it's abso-freaking-lutely not. When they tell you you're safe without, owning self-protection tools, you're abso-freaking-lutely not. When they tell you that all you need to worry about is the upcoming Thanksgiving and Christmas holidays, they're redirecting you and managing you. They're keeping your blinders on. And you need to start to know that what we have happening in the rest of the world is, without a doubt, starting to affect us here inside of America, here inside of, our area of operation, and it's not going to go away. So is Israel actually at a certain level of nuclear preparedness? They very well could be. Are they attacking inside of Lebanon? Yes, or somebody posing as them are. What we know is that we can't afford to not realize how bad things really are getting. Part of that realization is waking ourselves up and our family up every single day, turning on the news, not the news like mainstream news, but wherever you gather your information from. I'm sure this is part of your daily routine, the information that I bring you here on this channel. Gathering that information, disseminating it to people you care about, cataloging it in your head, starting to make your own threat levels, like, okay, well, today things got a little bit more heated. I'm going to watch out. When I take my kids to school, I'm going to be a little bit more aware. When my wife goes to work, I'm going to tell her to be a little bit more aware, because these politicians and corporations and the corruption that we live in has made it so that we both have to work every day of our life until we're 80 and die. We have to realize the signs of the times that we are living in. Let me know what else you're seeing out there. What kind of wordsmithing are you guys seeing? What kind of bogus BS are you seeing panhandled to the American people? Or if you're from another country, to the country that you live in, how do you fight through it? And what do you do for people? You know, if you have friends and family, and your friends and family are like, oh, well, I heard this, and they always have a rebuttal for you. Oh, well, I actually heard this was going on. How do you fight that rebuttal? How do you tell them reality without hurting their feelings? Because a lot of people are so heavily invested into the lies that they are being told that they believe them 100%. With all their heart, all their tiny little heart, they believe them. This is a S hits the fan reality. The world changed a couple of years ago. We started to see these cyclical changes, right? Early 2000s, we saw economic resets. Mid-2000s, we saw economic resets. They kept band-aiding and printing and doing all these different things. But what they didn't do, even after we went into Iraq, even after we liberated Libya, right? That's always a good thing. Hey, we liberated them, and how are they doing now? Oh yeah, chef's kiss there, guys. Even after we took 20 years, billions of dollars, and the lives of our brothers and sisters to remove the Taliban and then replace it with the Taliban, even after we did all these things just so that the politicians and the corporations could get more money, where are we at now? What's the next scam going to be? I can tell you, it's starting today. We are living in that scam. And it's not going to become extremely visible for a couple of years. Russia has a big play in it. China has a big play in it. And they want you to have a big play in it. Your part is a cog in the machine. Another taxpayer. Another tither. Good luck, everyone.